What's going on, comic book fans? It's Jimmy C. I'm bringing you my haul from Comic-Con. I went Friday and I went Sunday. And actually, you're looking at the only two books I bought. I was actually there selling a lot of books, mainly to get some money to buy some artwork. And, you know, it took a while, but mission accomplished. These are I almost picked up a few other comics, but these are the only two books I picked up. Got them for $2 each. First appearance of Roger Kingsley. I think this might be a sleeper book. You know, he's the real deal original Hobgoblin. Mastermind behind it all. So, like, pretty cool for $2. It's like buying a lotto ticket. Who knows? These are my second and third copies. So let me get started. I sold a bunch of books. I mean, I needed to sell a lot of books. I kind of sold stuff I wasn't super attached to, because I went through my stuff a good 2-3 times. So I don't want to bore you guys, but I sold a Amazing Spider-Man 129, about a 6.5 raw. I sold the first Wonder Man raw. It was about an 8.0. I sold my first Juggernaut raw. I sold Swamp Thing 1. I sold 2 graded. I sold Spidey 252. I sold Secret Wars 8. Those were both graded. I sold my raw X-Men 100 and X-Men 50, my first Iron Man, and so on and so forth. But that gave me what I needed, so I had firepower to go and buy some nice artwork. So let me kick it off without further ado. This was the page that I was dying for. The guy put it on hold for me. I loved it as soon as I saw it. Beautiful splash page of the Vulture. Amazing, spectacular Spider-Man. 186. It's like a 3-part series, and Vulture's about to capture Aunt May. Like, beautiful. Look at that. Like, sitting there perched in all his glory, about to go after poor Aunt May. I was joking with the dealer. I said, hey, if they make a Spider-Man movie and Vulture's in it and he kidnaps Aunt May, this is like a lotto ticket. You know, that's probably never going to happen. So I had some cash. The dealer was a pretty nice guy. It's funny because my friend told me he's a diehard liberal Democrat. So whatever you do, like, don't talk about anything. Like, if you're a Republican, keep quiet. He said if you wear a Hillary shirt, you might get the stuff at half price. So I thought he was joking, like, you know, maybe he's a Democrat, whatever. But, like, when I went there, he was actually, like, full-blown in a political discussion with the guy. So I was like, geesh, I'm not saying anything. So I was breaking bread with him, and I'm looking through his bins. You know, it's overwhelming, the artwork. There's so many bins and bins and bins and pages. And I looked, I was on my 4th bin. I was about to throw the towel in and just take the Vulture. And look what I found. And he had it priced at $8.50, which is unheard of. So I figured with the Vulture, I get a bundle deal. Look what I found. ManThing, so it's volume 2, issue number 6. So if you guys remember, I have issue 7 with the pirate ship. Like, how sweet is that? So long story short, he gave me this cover for $600. Like, my goodness. So the Vulture was $6.50. He knocked the Vulture down to $6. And he gave me this for $600 also. If I didn't see this, I was going to try to get the Vulture for $5.50. But the fact that he basically gave me this book, I could have went to another art dealer and flipped this for $1,000 to $1,200 instantly without even, like, them giving it a second thought. Because I found issue number 2 and at another dealer's table, and he wanted $1,900. He would have maybe came down to $1,500, if that. But I didn't even mess around because it's just too much more money to lay out. But, like, it's like the other ManThing. I didn't love it at first, but now, like, I'm looking at it, it's a pretty sick cover. So now, you know, I'm trying to corner the ManThing market. So this is where I got carried away, because I had money in my pocket after doing work selling all those other books, and I just got silly. Like, if I could redo it, I would probably not have gotten this piece. So it's a spectacular Spider-Man page. I think issue 146. But, you know, you got Punisher and Spidey in 3 panels. And then, sorry, technical difficulties. And then you got the Lobo Brothers. If you guys remember, those were like 2 Spanish drug dealers and they turned into wolves. So, like, you know, I just got caught up in it. If I could do it, I mean, I didn't get hurt. You can't go wrong. Sal Buscema, pencils and inks. But, you know, I could have saved some money right there, and I just got crazy. And then I got this from him also. This, I'm glad I got it. At first I was like, but like, look at this beauty. It's Batman Annual 10, Dennis Cowan, and you got Batman and Robin in every panel. Then you got a beautiful, like, quarter splash of Robin with Batman in the background, and then both of them jumping into the Batmobile. So, like, this is a pretty great piece. And then he knew I liked the Thunderbolts because we were talking a while, and I didn't really want this piece. This is a newer piece, the newer Thunderbolts with Red Hulk's the leader, with Deadpool, the Flash Thompson, Venom, Ghost Rider, the leader. They're missing the Elektra and Punisher are on the team also. I didn't really want this. He had it priced at, what do you have it priced at? He had it priced at $375. So I'm like, no way. He said, bro, you're buying all this other stuff for me, $100. So like, if you guys know anything about the artwork, $100 is like, how could you say no? You can't go wrong. It's a splash page of even though it's a newer book, it's like, that's giving it away. And he said, take it or leave it. I don't care. If you want it, it's yours. So I'm like, fuck. How can I not? How could I say no? So anyway, it's growing on me. But anyway, the Vulture and the ManThing page are the two that I love. Okay, one thing I brought and nobody wanted. I thought it was an oddball piece. I have all the Toy Biz. Well, not all, but I have like 5 or 6 Toy Biz. They were not. See, look, not for resale. I thought that would be an oddball piece. So someone wanted, cause some of the dealers aren't all about the money. They like odd duck pieces for themselves or maybe for a special client. But nobody cared. Okay, moving on. So then, I sold the Spidey. The Spidey number 1, 4.0, 4.5 rather. It was much harder to sell this book than I thought. I thought I was gonna make like, $4,500 to $4,700 easy, and the book was really faded. And it's a lesson learned, and like, let you guys know, if you ever save up to buy a big book and you're going to keep it and you're looking at it as an investment, do not touch a faded copy of a high-end book. It's like the kiss of death. And thank God I got it for such a good price. I still made a few dollars, but it took me till Sunday afternoon to let it go, and I did not get the money I was looking for. I didn't get hurt. So any lesson you learn where you don't lose money is a good lesson in my book. So I still made a couple of bucks, but nowhere near what I thought I'd make. It's funny too, because this dealer there's a dealer I wanted to buy a piece of artwork from, and he's known for being like standoffish and not the nicest guy. And I had my flask with me, and I was drinking Sunday morning, so filters off, and I'm not taking no shit. So we had words at like 8:30 in the morning, because I had the exhibitor's pass, so I'm there like, when they're all setting up. And, I let he said something to me, and I wasn't holding back. I let him know how I felt. And then at the end of the day, who's the one who bought my Spidey? When no one else wanted to cough up the money, it was him. I went over to him, and he was like looking at me like, you got to be crazy that you're showing your face at my booth. And then I just pulled out the Spidey, and he stopped everything he was doing. He was surrounded by people. He dropped it all, and he came right over, because he didn't know I had it. And we spoke a minute, and he said like he was a little offended, and I said, you know what, I apologize. I was just trying to do a deal with you, and I didn't know you. I said, but you're a standoffish guy sometimes. And he goes, yeah, I could be. You're right. Anyway, long story short, we buried the hatchet. He took the Spidey off me after like 10 minutes back and forth, and he gave me a really good deal on a piece of artwork I've wanted from him for a long time. So I got this from him. It's spectacular. Well, no, sorry. Doctor Strange. It's issue 44, and it's the origin story of Juggernaut retold. Like, how cool is that? So yeah, nice close up of Juggernaut, and both of them right there, full figures, and then right down there, it's the origin of Juggernaut. Isherwood's I like the way Isherwood does Doctor Strange. So sweet. And like he even said, he goes, how funny, like how the day at Comic-Con changes. In the morning, he said he was furious with me, and he thought he was never gonna do business with me again. And we wind up doing a huge deal, and me actually buying something off him after we do the deal. So it's pretty funny. And then he gave me this for free. I was so caught up in doing the deal, like I was flying and like on cloud 9, because I got some money back, and I got money to do more stuff. And like, hey, leaving Comic-Con with a few $1,000s in your pocket is always a good day. So he gave me this for free. I've never seen this before. Maybe some of you guys have. That's gonna fall. So basically, it's sorry for that. So it's John Romita from 1991, and it's, I guess it's like prints of his. Like, so look, pretty cool. They're all Daredevil prints. This is just like protection paper. So here's one of them. Then you got a nice Daredevil. I'm not gonna. John Romita Jr. rather. Another Daredevil. This one's pretty. If these were real, forget about it. I would be on my way to Florida to buy a house. And then last but not least, sorry, it's hard to do this stuff with one hand. The artwork's big. And then that. So, pretty cool of him. Pretty nice, you know. Just a little extra icing on the cake. Last but not least, there was a dealer there. He had books like on a fire, not on a fire sale, but he had books like 30% off, like good books. It's just the guy is just not nice. He's like one of the first dealers who saw my Spidey, and he just like shitted on it. Oh, it's faded. It sucks. No one wants it. I'll give you a blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, thank you. So like, I wanted to get a Rhino off him. He had Spidey 39, about a VF, and he had Spidey 41, first Rhino. So 30% off. It came out to 300. 200 for the Spidey, for the Goblin Spidey, and 100 for the Rhino. And I showed him. I did like he did. I said, listen, the Rhino is nice, but look, it's got all these issues. He goes, I don't want to hear it. I said, well, no, you're going to hear it. The way you felt like volunteering information and shitting on my Spidey, I'm going to tell you about your Rhino. Because he was just, you know, certain people just rub you the wrong way. They're just not nice for no reason. Certain comic dealers, if they don't know you, they just got to be dicks for no reason. Because there's a dealer he's friends with. This guy came over and he just changed like a bipolar prick. And he was just the nicest guy to this guy. And they did a deal in 2 seconds and he walked away. And you had to see his face. It's like he was ready to give him a wraparound. And then he came back to me and my friend, and he was just instant robot rude prick again. Because it came out to $330. I'm like, bro, I'll give you 300. He's like, no, it's 330. That's 30% off. And I just said, fuck him. You know, I just walked away. I'm like, you know, but I did go after him with the Rhino, and he shut his mouth because he saw, like, you know. But anyway, that's really I gotta say, if that's your only really negative experience, it was a good day. I really did want the Goblin. I was just going to buy the Goblin from him, the Amazing Spider-Man 39. It's an iconic cover. But, you know, like 200 was a great deal because that book I could flip for about 400. But, you know, the one thing that's kryptonite for Jimmy doing a Jimmy C deal, because that was a Jimmy C price, it's just giving money to a prick, especially $200. I just can't do it. I would rather pass on the deal than give money, even if it's a good price, to a guy who's just, maybe he's a nice guy overall and you got to get to know him, but you know what? If someone's about to hand you $200, you should at least fake it and, you know, be semi-pleasant. So, I didn't get them. But, you know, I got all this artwork. I got ManThing. I got the Vulture cover. I'm up on Instagram. These guys got me hooked, putting pictures left and right. That's about it. You know, all in, after all the books I sold, I wound up spending $200 total to get all that artwork. So, you know, obviously I spent all the money I made on the books, but all in, I traded in a bunch of books I wasn't diehard connected to. I got 6 cool pieces of artwork and got some stories for the YouTube family. That's about it. Jimmy C, over and out.